I want to congratulate, like everybody else has, all the members of the new General Assembly on both sides of the aisle. It's both your election victory and the swearing in. This is an exciting day, and for those that are new, it's very, very exciting. For those that have been here a while, we should never take for granted the opportunity to serve and the fact that we're elected to an incredible body and serving in a great state. I also want to say thank you to my colleagues on the Republican side of the aisle that entrusted in me the ability and the position of House Republican leader. I take it very seriously. It's an honor. It's a privilege, and I thank Joanne, and I thank Patty, and I thank John and Mike for your endorsements and your speeches today. And Patty Bellock, as a big Sox fan, I absolutely love the Cub Blue. It really, really looks good on you. Congratulations. You get surprised every day of the year. I want to also say thanks to all of you here today. You're here in some capacity as a friend, as a supporter, as a family member. And public service has become more and more of a sacrifice. It's not easy, and what these folks do on a day-to-day basis requires your support. They sacrifice, and so do you. And we very much appreciate all of your support, and we really need to say to all of you, thank you very, very much. We're very lucky. Let me just acknowledge my family. You heard from my dad with his prayer. And my mom is also here. Mom, where are you? You're up in the balcony. Ruth Cross. My mom is a former teacher, principal, and assistant superintendent, still working and involved in social and emotional learning. And I don't believe she's called anybody's office about pension reform, at least not that I'm aware of. She hasn't called mine, so I appreciate that. My brothers are here, and I think they're up there as well. And then I want to acknowledge my wife. Jeannie, where are you? Jeannie Cross. So, Jeannie, thank you. We have a 19-year-old daughter, Reynolds, and a 16-year-old son, Hudson, who could not be here today. One's in school and the other's in school. But what did 19 and 16-year-olds do this day and age? They did text their father and said congratulations, so I very much appreciate that. Bear with me for just a second. I have a University of Alabama tie on. And I'm wearing the Alabama tie not because the speaker's on the other side cheering for Notre Dame, and he knows that. We talked. But my wife, who is smiling today, not because we're getting sworn in, but because she went to the University of Alabama and has been cheering and glowing and very happy since Monday night. So, Jeannie, I hope you like the tie. Roll Tide. I could hear her when I was in Springfield cheering up in R-Oswego. She was so loud during the game. Look, today is a great day. It's a day of celebration. And it's a day we should enjoy. We should revel in it and remember all that you did to get here and be very thankful. But tomorrow begins a new day. It begins 2 years of a General Assembly that will face immense issues, incredibly difficult issues, as you heard today, from not only the folks that nominated the Speaker and myself, and also from the Speaker, but we're facing challenges as a state that we probably haven't seen as a General Assembly since the Great Depression. Incredibly difficult issues that are going to take incredibly bold ideas and incredibly bold solutions. We've talked over the last year about the need to do real change, make real change, and not nibble around the edges. You often hear of the term, and maybe we hear it more on our side, but it's a term that people use over and over again, of family values. I'll tell you, for me, what a family value issue is right now is, and I take this from a personal side, is making sure we have a state that people want to live in, want to stay in, want to come to. And most particularly, I want it to be a state where my kids want to go away to school if they do and come back and live near their mom and dad. And right now, we're a state that's struggling. And I'm not so sure that that's, at the moment, a place where people want to be. And that's a shame. It's a state I love. It's a state everybody up this stage loves, and it's a state I suspect all of you cherish and want it to prosper and be vital again. The goals of this caucus will be, over the next 2 years, to restore this state to the fiscal spot it needs to be. We heard some of the things that we did today, but if you think about where we are as a state and where we need to be, we have a lot to do. Some of the things discussed today that need to be done we talked about 2 years ago, and they haven't gotten done. Imagine if you, for a second, if you were at your kitchen table and trying to sort through all of the things we have to do as a state. On one pile, you have to acknowledge the fact that we have $8 to $9 billion of bills that we haven't paid. $8 to $9 billion. In another pile, someone's come along and said to us, we have over $90 billion of unfunded pension liability. In another pile, we have over $40 billion of health care unfunded liability. We had another pile, we have a budget that's still, while we've done some good things over the last couple of years, still is not stable as where we'd like it to be. And then we have unemployment at over 8%. Very, very real issues that need very, very real solutions. And as the speaker said, the biggest of them all, pensions. The most difficult conversation you could ever have. It's uncomfortable. It's unpleasant. People get angry and say, what are you doing changing the rules? And with good reason at times. But you need to understand, and we need to understand and accept the fact that if we do nothing, a variety of not so good things happen. We have a budget of about $33 billion. And we will spend between $7 and $8 billion this year on pension-related items. Next year, as you heard, that goes up. So if you're a school district, if you're a developmental disability facility, if you provide substance abuse, if you want to build the roads that you want in your community, we can't do that anymore. We have to cut back. And it gets worse every year when we put this off. Businesses are leaving the state of Illinois because we failed to take on the challenge of this issue and make the tough choices that we need to do. If you're a teacher or you're a retired state worker or a retired university person, think of the uncertainty going on in your life right now. You may not like some of those suggestions, but to not fix this causes anger and angst and uncertainty for you. So that issue, coupled with many others, require us to be strong, to be courageous, to be bold, and do our best to put aside the political consequences of very, very tough choices. I'd like to suggest, and as I close here, to our new members, an observation, or several observations. We will, you will go, as will we, do a variety of emotional experiences over the next 2 years. There are going to be some good days. You'll pass a bill. It might be because you worked really hard. It might be for a reason you don't even know. A bill may die because of something you did, or maybe something you didn't do. And there'll be good days and there'll be bad days. It's the beauty and the frustration of the General Assembly. And then there are going to be days where it's incredibly difficult because the issues are so complex to figure out what you should do. And you're going to say, I'm lost. I'm confused. Why am I here? I would look across this stage, up and down, and think about the incredibly gifted people we have in the Illinois General Assembly. So if you say to yourself, I really want to get a handle on pensions, go see Elaine Neckritz or Darlene Sanger. Two great, bright people who've worked very, very hard. You're concerned about Medicaid? You should be. And when the federal government gets involved, it'll change the dynamics. Go see Patty Bellock. Bright, capable, will give you as much time and attention as you ever want to know. When that business person calls you and says, I'm thinking about leaving the state of Illinois. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. Go see Dwight Kay. He runs a business. He can tell you what it's like with the taxation policies we have, the workers' compensation system, the tort system, the regulatory system, the permitting system, and will tell you what it takes to get this state, from a business standpoint, on the right track. Social service issues, mental health issues, David Leach is the best. Sarah Feigenholz has spent a lot of time on those types of issues. We have great universities, and we have great people representing universities, whether it's Noreen Hammond, Dan Brady, Bob Pritchard. They've got a lot to offer you and a gift of understanding some very complex issues. And the list goes on and on. Frank Martino knows the budget. Jim Sasha, John Capella, Dennis Reboletti know the criminal code. We've got so much experience in this body, so much compassion, so much interest of doing the right thing. Utilize that. Utilize that. So in closing, Mr. Speaker, congratulations to you again. We roll up our sleeves, or we'll roll up our sleeves. We want to work with you. We want to work with you in a real way, a comprehensive way, a bold way, to take Illinois to the place we know it can be and where it needs to be. Thank you very, very much.